It's an entirely new and exciting day. And, I've been looking on the internet, and I can ask you people some, really, some questions I'm sure none of you have thought about. Maybe one percenters like me. And this is one percenters. When I say this, perhaps only in looks and outspokenness. Unfortunately, it's the sad things, folks. Listen, here's the deal. I want each one of you to go on YouTube, or God, there's a zillion social medias, but YouTube is a real good one for this particular thing, being as there is a certain amount of freedom to post there. And let me explain to you, if people really, really search out things that are going on, let me just tell you straight up, Facebook, everybody's Facebook, is a CIA dream. The CIA gets everything, updates to where people are and what they're doing and everything. I mean, my God, there is even a certain amount of, believe it or not, terrorists that use Facebook. And as much as I guess they glean information from it, the fact that some people check in every day, it's like tells them exactly where they're at. I saw no need to check in. I really don't go anywhere. And quite frankly, if I ever disappear totally, folks, pay attention. The people in the black suits and everything that work for our beloved government have taken me away to some gulag where I can no longer tell you all this shit that's really freaking important. Number one, anybody with half a brain, and that's my age. Okay, I'm gonna qualify that and all. And some of you guys that are in my age group, guys and girls, are pretty up on crap, and already you figured out a long time ago. Geez, how old was I? 10 years old or so. What happened? But that the Kennedy assassination was probably follow the money, follow the trail. Follow the fact that Eisenhower said, beware the military-industrial complex, whom various people in our own government were involved in years ago in that era. They're old now, but they have younger progeny, brothers, sons, nephews, things that are in politics. Let me just... Did you know George Bush was a CIA agent stationed in Dallas, Texas, when Kennedy was shot in Dallas, Texas? That's just something to mull your brain upon. But all right, let's get to more modern times, things that you people remember. Go on YouTube or anywhere else and go back and see little puffs of smoke how from the World Trade Center. If you think that the planes took them down and that was some radical Muslim plot, the big question is this, and I've heard it more than once, and here it is, folks. Here's the really big question. Did the Muslim terrorists, they were all Saudi Arabian, curiously enough. Some of them are still alive, by the way. I've been seen running around. They publish photos of all the hijackers, but some of them are still very much alive. In positions of relative prominence in Yemen and countries like that. But anyway, I don't mean to laugh because it's tragic, the lie, and some of them in our own country even got a heart transplant. Hi, Dick. I hope you're feeling well, Dick. Anyway, and some are chopping wood down in Texas after reading third grade books when the Trade Center got blown up. And if you look, there's some specific things, okay, I'll clue you in, and I've been studying a little bit about it. Little puffs of smoke, I forget to call them sprigs or something. I forget, but they're really common. They use those when they take down buildings. Now, when I lived in St. Petersburg, I saw the Serena Hotel, which was an old, beautiful hotel that it took down. They said it was unrepairable, but basically it was a land swap deal. It was somebody made a bunch of money, screwed a bunch of people, and got out of Dodge after blowing this beautiful hotel up, which could have been renovated. It was beautiful architecture. And they said somebody had absolutely, that was probably bought up with absolutely no uh, um, architectural skills or background whatsoever. They said, oh, it's not repairable. The sand was crumbling and all. I saw it was perfectly solid. I used to go by it every single day. I worked at a restaurant around the corner from it. I told you I was a really good cook. I don't know. I just don't eat as many dead animals now. Kind of good for the planet, good for me thing. Double benefit. Plus, it's way cheaper. And you'd be surprised knowing some of the healthiest people, to sidetrack, some of the healthiest people in the world live on Mediterranean diets, which is a lot of, potatoes and carrots and, grains and lentils and beans and things. Just something to think about. But at any rate, nothing's been done about the 9/11 thing, and people within our own country and our own government. That was a big question I was going to ask. I got sidetracked. Sorry. Perhaps I'm hungry. It was about food. I sidetracked. All right, but getting back to it now. Here's the deal. Did the American government help the terrorists, or terrorists help the American government? Either way, it caused an abrogation. Those of you who don't like big words. Basically, a cutting off, a curtailment, a shortening, a tightening up of our social freedoms. Just for matter of record, let's to celebrate freedom. Let's everybody in the month of January of 2013 go out and go to the library and take out a book on gunpowder, bombs, fertilizer, nitrates, anything having to do with bomb making or guns. Now, that is my proposal, okay, as crazy as it sounds and everything, and I'll probably get taken away in the middle of the night for saying this, but that is my way of combating the freedoms taken away from the, they call it the Patriot Act, I call it the fascism, reeks of Nazi Germany passage of a bill they call patriotic. My short term for the Patriot Bill is the shit on you bill, because it's basically what they did. If you take out a book at a library that's on gunpowder, all this, it's automatic. They have to report you to government. So I think if everybody in America does the right thing, and also when you're at your library, is an American institution. It's good for you. It's good for America. It's good to educate you and your kids. Read. Get on the internet. Read, discover, probe. But read a good old-fashioned book, which incidentally, I already explained to you that most of the books on the shelves got about 50 or 100 years before they start to fall apart, because if we used hemp paper, it doesn't require bleach, not chlorine bleach, and every year we get a new crop of paper as opposed to every 200 years. It uses less everything to process, so you have less pollution all the way around, less water pollution, less air pollution, less renewable crop, more oxygen for the air, more jobs. I'm not even going to go into the whole hemp versus cutting down beautiful trees, which your children should see. Instead, they're getting clear-cutted, and that's and fires and burnt down and everything. We really need to do something. Oh, incidentally, all you pot smokers out there, save your seeds and ship them en masse to Colorado, so they have something to plant to hold They're just, you don't have to put a return address. Don't be paranoid. But put them in a baggie. You don't even have to worry about dropping them in a public mailbox in a big city, okay? And put them in a baggie and try to put a little padding. Maybe put them in styrofoam, something, and ship them to Colorado anonymously and tell them to scatter them about their burned landscape, and they will have something to keep it from washing away if they have heavy rains and all. And that's my suggestion. Also, I'm not just saying hemp, I'm just saying possibly throw some marigold seeds in, throw some wildflower seeds in, maybe some seeds from flowers you're growing your a whole yard in your yard. Some grass seed, anything. Those people are going to need seed when all this is said and done, and continue to pray for rain for them. Also, another thing, what was I going to say? Try to be really conservative water use wise and use your water wisely, and continue to drink a lot of water. Make sure your pets have water. But anyway, I haven't been on here for a while. I'm going to reformat this whole thing and figure out some more sensible things for you to say and everything. But fair warning, I still love my coffee, bourbon, and occasional Mother Nature. But still loving you, still praying for you, still caring about you. This is John in Florida. I shall be back to you really soon. I promise, I promise, I promise. Or, damn, that man's still threatening me. No, it's out of love. Really, it is. I'm out of here. I'll talk to you really soon. This is John in Florida. Anyway, back at you. Anyway, I'm going to start being way more political because time is getting close. And I'm going to be back real quick with another message that's kind of comical. Okay? So get ready for it. It's pretty nuts. But you already knew I was nuts, so geez, what's the deal? Loving you. Bye.